Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are studying chapter number 20 of biology, second year biology. Today's topic is DNA as hereditary material. The first evidence of hereditary nature of the DNA was provided by a British microbiologist, Frederick Griffith, who made some unexpected observation while experiment with the pathogenic bacteria. He infected the mice with a virulent strain of Streptococcus pneumoniae, a bacteria that known as pneumococcus. The mice died of the blood poisoning. However, when he infected similar mice with a mutant strain of S. pneumoniae that lacked the virulent strain polysaccharide coat, the mice showed no illness. The coat was apparently necessary for the virulence. The normal pathogenic form of the bacterium is referred as a S-type, and because they form the smooth colonies on a culture dish. The mutant form, which lack an enzyme needed to manufacture the polysaccharide coat, is called as R-type because it forms the rough colonies. To determine where the polysaccharide coat itself has a toxic effect, Griffith injected the dead bacterium of virulent S strain into the mice. The mice remain perfectly healthy. As a control, he injected the mixture of the dead S-type of bacteria, virulent bacteria, and living R-type bacteria, each of which by itself did not harm the mice. Unexpectedly, the mice developed the disease symptoms and many of them died. The blood of the dead mice was found to contain high level of the living S-type bacteria, which had surface proteins characteristics of the living R-type strain. Somehow, the information specified the polysaccharide coat had passed from the dead virulent S bacterium to the living coatless R bacterium in the mixture, permanently transforming the coatless R bacterium into the virulent S bacterium. Is called transformation, is a transfer of genetic material from one cell to another and can alter the genetic makeup of the recipient cell. The agent responsible for the transforming Streptococcus went undiscovered until 1944 in a classic series of experiments. Oswald Avery, along with the Colin MacLeod and the MC Carte characterized when they referred to as the transforming principle. They first prepared the mixture of dead S Streptococcus and living R Streptococcus that Griffith had used. Then they removed as much as the proteins they could from their preparation, eventually achieving 99.98% purity. Despite removal of nearly all the proteins, the transforming activity was not reduced. Moreover, the properties of transforming principle resembled those of DNA, the protein digesting enzyme or RNA digesting enzyme that did not affect the transforming activity. But the DNA digesting enzyme, DNA destroys all the transforming activity. The additional evidence supporting the Avery's conclusion was provided in 1952 by the Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, who experimented with the bacteriophages T2. In some experiments, they labeled the viruses with the radioisotopes P32, which was incorporated into the newly synthesized DNA of the growing phage. In other experiments, the viruses were grown on a medium containing S32, an isotope of sulfur, which is incorporated in the amino acids of newly synthesized proteins coat of the phage. After the labeled viruses were permitted to infect the bacterium cells were agitated violently to remove the protein coats of the infected viruses from the surface of the bacterium, and this produced removed nearly all of the S32 labeled form from the proteins of the phages. However, the P32 had transferred to the interior of the bacterium and was found to the viruses subsequently released from the infected bacterium. Hence, the hereditary information injected into the bacterium that specified the new generations of viruses was DNA and not proteins. Thanks for watching.